I thought he did a really, really good job. I mean, when you look at some of these other guys who are doing their pro days, they're throwing 30 or 40 passes. Man, this dude did a full workout. He threw 60 to 70 passes. He went through a lot of different throws. You know, every quarterback, they're going to show the big arm throws. But I loved he showed the touch, right? He showed the intermediate throws. He threw in the red zone, some play action on the move. Does he need to sit? Probably. I mean, normally the teams that are up at the top in the top five in picking and need quarterbacks. Newsflash: that's not a complete team. That's not a team that is vibing for or fighting for the Super Bowl next year.
Pro days are officially out of the way. We've seen what Drake Maye, Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy, all of these guys did during their pro day, and I'm going to be quite honest with you. All of them looked really, really good, making the decision for the number 2 or the number 3 overall draft pick extremely tough. But what I will say is, I think whoever you get, if you get a Jaden Daniels, I think you have the sky's the limit. If you get a Drake Maye, I also believe with a little bit of growth, with a little bit of development, he could be a stud quarterback as well. I mean, when you look back at his pro day, the man was commanding the pocket. He was critiquing his own performance and making sure when he made a mistake, like, let's get back at it. Let's do it again until we get it right. I thought that's something, you need out of a quarterback, someone who wants to be perfect every single possession. He led the offense really well, gunned the huddle, told the guys where they needed to go, when they needed to go there as well. Like I said, I think he could sit 1 year and then be a stud type of guy. There's a lot of people out there saying, listen, if this guy sits for 1 season, gets that Jordan Love type of treatment, he could be an absolute stud down the line. And I completely agree. But we know what type of player he is, what type of player he can be. The arm talent he has is insane. The deep throw accuracy is there, right? He threw 60 to 70 passes during his pro day when normally quarterbacks only throw about 40. And one big thing that you can tell with watching his game film in the pro day is, his play action. The vertical game on play action is going to be, really, really tough to beat when you have a guy like Drake Maye. But in this video, we're going to break down possible landing spots for Drake Maye, as well as breaking down some film. There's about 3 to 4 teams I think could be all in on Drake Maye this, NFL draft. I mean, first you have the Vikings, the Commanders, the Patriots, the Raiders, the Broncos. There's so many teams that could take Drake Maye. So before we dive into the video, comment down below, who do you think is the perfect fit for this man right here? Now, with that being said, let's quickly dive into some in-game film just to show you guys what he can do in an actual game, and then I want to break down some teams I think he could really be great fits for going forward. So let's get right into the video. Alright, here we go. Here's another play I wanted to show you guys. We got a shotgun formation, 4-man rush here by Notre Dame. Now, the one thing to look at here is his pocket presence, right? Notice he has a little bit of time here to stay in the pocket, but once the O-line starts to dissolve a little bit, they start to allow some pressure into there. He does a good job just rolling out to his left, right? But now I want you guys to look at the throw. Now you have this linebacker coming up. We got one-on-one here to the outside. I know you guys can't really see it, but tosses up a ball off one leg running to the opposite side or left side, right? So boom, look at where this ball is placed in the only position where the wide receiver can go up and get it and make a big time catch. Those are the things you want to see out of your quarterback. Again, shotgun set. We're going to get 4 rushers here by Notre Dame. And again, let's load one up here. Deep left side. We got one-on-one coverage. Let's throw it down the field. And here we go. We got the safety trying to get back into the play. Absolute dime. So obviously Drake Maye's a guy that can make any throw, but can he do it right away? That is the big question with Drake Maye. Here's some other clips as well. Actually, guys, real quickly, before we dive into this next play breakdown, do me a big favor. If this video gets up to 400 likes, I'll be posting non-stop NFL draft coverage for the next month leading up to the draft. And during the draft, I'm going to give you all of the breaking news where everybody goes to. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Subscribe. It is free. Doesn't cost anything to join the family. And with that being said, Comment down below, where is the best fit for Drake Maye? But let's get back into the video. See how he utilizes versus the defense. I do want to slow this down just a little bit. Now, the first thing I want to show you here is we have one deep safety, okay? Now, when we're trying to find open guys on the field, we want to make sure the safety is away from our, our intended target. So what he does right away is start off looking left. He wants his safety to stay on the left side of the hash mark, right? But he's also wanting to throw it to the right side, which opens up the deep middle of the field, right? So boom, that's the first thing you notice. And then we have an edge rusher screaming in, or actually maybe an interior edge rusher getting in here. Boom, steps up in the pocket. Beautiful. Now turns his head, looks at this man right here, maybe wants to get this safety down here or on this guy for a second. Boom, but then continues looking right, and now we're getting our guy open. Stands still, fires a bullet with pressure in his face. Absolute dime, gets him down the field for a massive pickup, and these are the type of things that he can add to your football team. But not only that, he's a guy that can get outside the pocket and make plays or extend plays with his legs as well. And look at this dime. Look at this dime down the middle of the field. Absolute perfect positioning on that football. Guys, I'm telling you, Drake Maye is the type of guy that can change your offense. And then one thing we looked at in the pro day was his play action ability to roll out to the right, step back, and fire a bullet. This is what he was doing. Again, making different reads, changing where the defense is looking, changing where the defense is headed, right? So on this play specifically, boom, let's drop back. We know our target's to the right side of the field. Let's actually look left for a second. Let's look over the middle here, and then let's fire right? Nobody is going to get over there. Everyone's running to the left side of the field, and boom, there it is. Absolute moneymaker of a throw. Maybe overextends it, but in the NFL it's a touchdown because it's not, downed immediately. And again, play action fake. I think Drake Maye can be so versatile with his arm, his IQ, the way he moves in the pocket, the flick of the wrist. Everything is just so perfect when it comes to Drake Maye's offense. This dude is incredible. I'm so excited to see where he ends up landing in this year's NFL draft. Now, let's talk about some fits. Obviously, there's the Washington Commanders, who quite frankly, they cannot miss on a quarterback, right? They have had so many different starting quarterbacks since 2018. I mean, just take a look at this little graphic here, and you tell me they cannot go through another scenario where they draft the wrong quarterback. Now, I love Jaden Daniels. I love Drake Maye. I don't think they should go J.J. McCarthy, but I don't think you can really mess this up, right? I think the Heisman winning Jaden Daniels could have crazy amount of potential as well as versatility, right? And I think he would pair up very well with a guy like Cliff Kingsbury. But I also think Drake Maye has the possibility to be really good here as well. However, there are some people who actually don't think Drake Maye would fit well with Cliff Kingsbury. Let's take a listen to a little bit of a video discussing where Matt Harmon thinks Drake Maye would be a good fit.
I think Maye and Williams are prizes, just phenomenal players.
Yeah, man, I really don't want the Commanders to overthink it. I really think they should just take him at second overall, and I think he'd be a great fit with those receivers there. I think but I'm a little concerned about the Jaden Daniels stuff. But anyways, we talked a lot about this.
If Maye's there at 3 and the Vikings move up for him, I would
that's a dream.
It'd be like the fun. It'd be incredible. With Kevin O'Connell and that offensive system, it'd just be one of the most. It'd be fireworks. So it's again, fan fiction. That's one landing spot I want for him and one timeline I want to build.
Oh,
I'm manifesting it.
I would certainly, from a coaching perspective, I'd certainly much rather see him work with Kevin O'Connell than Cliff Kingsbury. But from the selfish,
you think?
Yeah, just a small gap there for sure.
Jeez, right?
But yeah, I had to ask you about Drake Maye just because I've really not understood some of the negativity that I do get where it's a certain eye of the beholder stuff with quarterback play, but I do think some of it is a little bit unfair.
Now, the funny thing is, I kind of agree with them. I do think that Jaden Daniels would be a much better fit with Washington and, Cliff Kingsbury, but I also agree in the fact that Drake Maye would be an even better fit for the Vikings, right? But if that were to happen, they would have to trade up to number 3 over the Patriots. But I believe the Patriots, they need a quarterback. What are they going to do? Not take a quarterback or wait for a Bo Nix or wait for a Michael Penix and risk the fact that they don't risk the opportunity that they don't actually get him, right? So I don't know. I think the Patriots just might draft Drake Maye. However, if they're not too confident on Drake Maye, if I'm the Vikings, I'm going all in. Not only do you have Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the NFL, you have a wide receiver coming up in Jordan Addison, two very young, up-and-coming wide receivers in the NFL. The O-line is really, really good when they're healthy. I feel like this is a strong area of their team. You also have TJ Hawkinson, a vertical threat in Josh Oliver. You do have Sam Darnold, who can be a guy that, maybe starts the first 8 weeks of the season, right? So I don't even hate that, right? You also have Kevin O'Connell, who is their head coach starting. Their head coach, right? I love him as a play caller. He can really help the development of a Drake Maye, right? You bring in Aaron Jones from the Packers, a very versatile threat who can run, who can catch passes out the backfield, can be a little bit of a safety net. And then the defense is not too bad as well, man. I think the Vikings could be the best fit in terms of just the overall talent, the abundance of players they have on this football team, especially on the offensive side of the football. And if you're asking me, where do you think Drake Maye fits the best? Well, I think it's the Vikings. They're the most competitive team. They give him an opportunity not to come in and be a day one starter. They can maybe sit back, relax a little bit behind a Sam Darnold, right? But if you throw him on the Commanders, right? I mean, let's just go see the Commanders, right? The Commanders, you're probably gonna have to make him a day one starter, right? You're not gonna have Marcus Mariota be your day one starter, right? So I would take that out of the question right there. You talk about the Patriots. I don't think he wouldn't start over Bailey Zappi. So I think he would be a day one starter over him and Jacoby Brissett. So I mean, I feel like the best fit for him has to be the Minnesota Vikings. And let me be really honest with you guys, right? For any Patriots fans in here waiting for me to discuss the fit for this team, I don't think there is a good fit for this team. I think the Patriots would fit much better with a guy like Jaden Daniels who is very versatile, can make things happen on his feet, but also can sit in the pocket and make good passes. I think Jaden Daniels could be the perfect fit for New England, right? But I don't think Drake Maye, I just don't believe that Drake Maye and New England are a good fit, right? I think it would take them a year or two to get ready. I think the Patriots aren't even close to being competitive offensively. The wide receiver room is so mid. I mean, you have Demario Douglas and Kendrick Bourne, KJ Osborne, right? I mean, those aren't needle movers, right? So I feel like one, you need a go-to target. You need someone who can be a safety net. I don't know, maybe you guys think it's Hunter Henry, maybe it's Ramondre Stevenson or Antonio Gibson, but listen, I don't think this team's ready. The Patriots are in a position where they need to continue to build up this team for multiple different seasons until they're ready to really bring in a quarterback to throw into the fire. Unless it's a guy like Jaden Daniels who can do multiple different things for you, extend plays, and get guys open as well. So I do think Jaden Daniels would be a good fit. I just don't think he makes it to them. In my eyes, there are a couple of really good fits for Drake Maye. I think the number one fit is the Minnesota Vikings trading up to number 3 to get him. Don't know how realistic that is, but I think it is definitely a possibility. You talk about maybe even the Denver Broncos moving up. I think that would even be a good fit over there with Courtland Sutton and the guys that they brought in around, that room as well. Right now you have Jarrett Stidham. They traded Jerry Jeudy, obviously, at Marvin Mims still, and Javonte Williams, but the Patriots I don't think are a fit. The Commanders could be good as well. I'd rather see him in Minnesota. Maybe the Raiders. I don't think the Raiders really want to get him. I think the Raiders are locked in on Jaden Daniels. But at the end of the day, whoever gets him will need to let him sit back a little bit, let him relax, let him understand, feel the game a little bit, and just continue to get better at the NFL level. And I don't think that's right away. If you toss him into the fire right away, you could be ruining his career. Let me know what you guys think down below. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.